The dentist yesterday.
Oh, here we go.
And every time you go to the dentist, they tell you one thing and then something else happens. You know what I'm saying?
What happened this time?
Well, originally I was, I don't know, eating, you know, I love peanut brittle. And I busted off a hunk of something.
You did?
Yeah, so I went to the dentist and he says, oh yeah, this is a thing. He says, I'm going to knock it out completely. So he knocks it out completely yesterday, and it's one of those deals where I get about a quart of Novocaine.
Yeah.
I'm just now getting the feeling back in my elbows.
Right, yes.
And so he puts on a temporary. He says, this will be a two-part deal. He said, I have to put on a temporary thing. So they put all of that goo in your mouth. And you bite down, and then the goo hardens, and then they pry your mouth open, and then they got a thing, and they put a temporary in there. And he says, you come back in 2 weeks, I'll put in the permanent. And I said, oh, well, gee, I don't know. How do I know? Well, he said, no, 2 weeks will be just fine, and we'll see you then. So then I have to leave, and then today, not even 24 hours later, the damn thing comes out.
That's where it comes out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I have like a hole in the side of my mouth the size of an above-ground pool. And every now and then, I can't help putting my tongue in.
Of course, your tongue goes in there. Oh.
And I'm just now waiting for the nerve pain to return.
Of course.
It's that electric, oh. You know, it's sensitive to heat, it's sensitive to cold, and hey, I'm supposed to wait 2 weeks?
Oh, man. Now we understand.
Now... But I mean, my goodness, modern dentistry has been around for thousands of years. Modern dentistry. And look at all of the wonderful medical advancements we've made. Why can't they do it in one simple procedure?
They should be.
Why do I have to wait 2 weeks? Why do I have to walk around with some spare part in my mouth that I don't really want and it doesn't really work? It didn't even make it through lunch. The damn thing didn't even make it through lunch, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't even eat lunch.
Hey, good morning. Hey, that piece by David Letterman was great. You know, it was really funny, but it actually really hits home too. And actually, some of the things that David talked about, and the fact that you can't get a crown done, it takes 2 or 3 weeks. That's why I got into this, Eric, and into this same-day crowns that I can provide that a lot of people can't. I got into it 10 years ago for that reason. I knew there had to be a better way. So I'm able to make crowns or fillings or whatever the same day. You're done. You move on. None of this temporary stuff, none of this ow stuff like David was saying. Even as far as the numbing goes, we have ways of doing that where we can numb just one tooth and you're on your way and you don't have that big numb feeling. So we're going to go into a little video here that will kind of explain how the process works. So I want to talk about something that's really a very integral part of our whole practice. It's something that I really feel sets our office apart from a lot of other offices. It's CAD Dentistry. We have the CEREC machine. It's an in-office system where we can design and mill and bond in crowns and big fillings, porcelain fillings, the same day in the office. And the fit on them is phenomenal. We can get a perfect match to your other teeth. You really wouldn't even know that it wasn't your own tooth when we're done the procedure. And it's something I've been doing for close to 10 years now. We help train some other dentists on how to use it here and there, and it's kind of a big part of what we do, and we do a ton of our continuing ed in that area. So we're really keeping up to date. It's absolutely the cutting edge of dentistry. It's where all of dentistry is going is CAD/CAM, whether it be lab-produced crowns or in-office produced crowns like what we're able to do here in our office. So. Got some really exciting new updates just recently. They have something called biogeneric engineering, and I'll just explain a little bit about what that is. It's basically what it does is we image, say you need a crown, and crowns are because you have a big filling that's broken or a cusp that comes off or something like that. So a crown and a cap are the same thing. It caps over what's left of your tooth and restores it back to its normal size and shape and makes it look good, makes it function good. So we recently got an update with some software. It's called biogeneric engineering, and what that does is it takes an image of, say, another tooth in your mouth that doesn't have a filling. It takes a whole bunch of calculations based on the shape of that tooth, and then it morphs it into the tooth that you're restoring, and so that you have a tooth that's really very extremely close to how your original tooth was shaped. both on the outer contours, but the bite and the chewing surface, everything is very similar to what your tooth really was before it was broken down with fillings and whatever else. So I'm going to just go through a real quick little process just to show you how it works. Pretty cool. So what we have here, where the pointer is, this is a tooth that had a large filling and the filling broke, so this is what a crown preparation looks like. This is a normal tooth on either side. That's a molar, this is a molar. It's all three-dimensional. You can move it any which way so I can see it better. We define the line, this blue line, we go in and draw that in, and that shows where the porcelain meets the tooth, where the two come together. And so I've got that all defined. And then I've taken an image of the bottom teeth and the top teeth, and then the computer is going to morph the two together for me. So I hit this arrow here, and it takes a generic, what a tooth number 30 should look like, and it's slowly kind of morphing it to fit into the space that we have. And the initial proposal it gives me is also very, very, very close to what your actual tooth should be shaped like. So you can kind of see it just kind of getting, basically wiggling it into the preparation. Usually takes anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute to get the final design down. And there's my initial proposal. It's actually very, very close to what I'd like to see. I have a series of tools down here where I can basically adjust it to fit the space a little bit more. I will actually rotate the tooth a little bit and position it to the left a little bit, and it fits that space even a little bit better. These areas here where you see it in color, that's where the opposing tooth is going to hit hard on that tooth. So I can dial in exactly how I want the bite to be as well. Red means it'd be too high, it would hit only on that spot. So I go in and just kind of adjust that spot down and get it down to where you're just barely touching, or where you're touching exactly like I'd like to see it. So that's essentially design. You're able to look at it from the back of the mouth and see that excuse me, see that it follows the contours of the other teeth very, very, very close. So once we bound this in, it just looks and feels like a real tooth. So where it's going from here is I hit a green arrow and it puts it into milling mode. We place a porcelain block in a milling unit in the back of our office here, and it grinds that crown out, and we're bound it in about a half hour later. So from start to finish, the whole procedure is done in one day. It takes a little over an hour, and you have your new tooth. And it's really been a fantastic thing to offer our patients.